Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 5, called Internment. So let's talk about this episode. We are having this infection come to a head in this episode. Herschel's doing everything possible to save everybody, while Daryl and Michonne and all of them are trying to get the medicine. So throughout this whole episode, we get to see Herschel trying to save everybody. Glenn is on the brink of death. Maggie's worrying about both of them, and Lizzie's still being very stupid with her, I want to be friends with the zombies. This almost gets Herschel killed, but Maggie does save the day there. And in the end, we do get the medicine, but there is a lot of tension throughout the whole episode to get the medicine. And then we have a Rick and Carl story. Carl wants to help, and Rick actually allows him to. And we get to see the zombies are all dead that was near the fence, but one of the fences did break. Will that be a problem? But the surprise ending here was that someone has returned, and spoiler alert, the governor. You would think it's Carol. No, it's the governor. So let me talk about my thoughts. I want to talk about the governor first. I do want to talk about the governor first. Honestly, when I heard the governor wasn't going to be in the season, I was pretty happy, because I was pretty bored by the governor's story after a while. I think because it was so pumped up, and by the end, it's just a lot of slow episodes, a lot of just talking, and last story wasn't being progressed or interesting throughout Season 2 and Season 3, and then especially Season 3 with the governor. I think he is a little bit more hyped up than he should have been, in my personal opinion. But I think the wait actually was a great thing for the governor. I think, for me, I'm more interested to see what did he do during that time. It gives him some sort of story, and probably more story for Michonne than anything. But I felt like Michonne was kind of a more annoying character back then also, and ever since she detached herself from the governor, she's become a really cool character with some hidden humor. It's always what she doesn't say, which is great about Michonne. So I'm a little scared for, honestly, both characters when the governor returns, but again, I am interested to see what exactly did he do, what are his motives now, is he angry, is he not angry? Obviously, I think he is angry, but yeah, I think it'll be interesting again. I think the gap made it a little bit more interesting. Am I totally excited? I'm gonna say no, just because I didn't love the governor, but I have hope now. I definitely do. It's better than just having him in episode 1 of Season 4, and I'll be like, oh, same thing as Season 3. I think this season really distanced itself from Season 3, which is a good thing, in my opinion, because I think this season's a lot better than Season 3. But yeah, I'm semi-excited for the governor, so I thought that was a very good cliffhanger. So overall, this episode honestly was pretty good. I thought the beginning at first was very slow, and I'm like, oh, same thing, infection. I felt that Season 3-ness, where nothing got progressed, and we're talking about the same thing over and over again. But then in the next half, you're like, it's thrillerness, different things are happening, we're talking about different subjects. And then we even have the talk of Carol in this episode, which I'm glad that they didn't really talk about as much, because I think they could definitely save that for the next episode when Daryl returns, because I'm really very interested in Daryl and Rick's conversation about Carol, and I love that Rick is so uncertain about himself with it. He even tells Maggie, he's like, would have you done it? And Maggie's like, yeah, but I don't know if I would have the guts. And one thing I loved about Maggie in this episode, MVP I would say for Maggie and Herschel, probably Herschel's number 1 MVP, and then second is definitely Maggie. But Herschel's badass in this episode, trying to save everybody with one leg. He did awesome in this episode. But going back to Maggie, I think one interesting thing is that we do get to see she is kind of a gutsy character like Rick, and Rick is like, oh, there will be a time where you have to make a decision. And in this episode, she made a decision to save her father, even though she might not have the best aim and could have destroyed the breather bag. I don't know the actual name for it. But yeah, because then Glenn wouldn't have survived without that. So I thought that was very interesting. Also, Maggie having the guts to just go back in there. So again, that's why I would give the MVP to Herschel and to Maggie, but definitely Herschel most of all, because he's the one to save pretty much everyone there. Without his gutsy move of really staying there, the cell wouldn't be the same. And with Lizzie's stupid mistakes, the cell definitely would have all been dead. Lizzie's getting on my nerves. I think Carl and Lizzie the most. Because when Carl's holding that gun in this episode, I'm like, I still don't feel it. Like, I love the father and son moment, but I just don't like Carl, who's like, let me go, I got a gun, let me do it. Like, I just don't love that part of Carl. But Lizzie's definitely has number one on the most annoying in this series. Just her having that zombie's like, come here, zombie. It was so, and then Herschel being nice enough not to show Lizzie that he killed the zombies, where I think he definitely should have showed her and be like, this is real life, honey. You know, in a zombie apocalypse, you can't keep them as pets. This is what happens. And I still don't think she'll learn until she dies, but we'll see what happens with Lizzie. But yeah, I thought the ending, again, just a lot of tension, which was great tension, and I really thought the second half of the episode picked up tenfold. Because again, the first half of the episode felt like an old episode where it's like, oh, I get what's happening, whatever, and then the infection story would have went on and on. I'm glad that infection story ended, and then a new story literally popped up in the end of this episode, which was needed. I felt like if you didn't have that governor piece, it would have been like, so now what? You know, everything's happy. You know, the worst thing is that the fence is not working. So overall, again, I thought, you know, a lot of characters shine here that usually don't shine. You know, usually we'll have like Daryl shine or Rick shine. But we had the one-legged Herschel shine, which I really feel was needed. And even Maggie, I don't know if it was really her episode, but I thought she did shine here too. And it was really nice to see those two kind of beloved characters, Sasha and Glenn. I think Sasha has definitely become more of a beloved character. In my opinion, I wouldn't want to see her die. And I really like that the tension was built between those two, saying, ooh, who's going to die? Are they going to die? And I felt that I didn't want anyone to die in this episode. I was like, I don't want Glenn to die. I don't want Sasha to die. And then when I thought Sasha was going to die, I'm like, what the hell is Tyrese going to do? So, yeah, there's a lot of interesting things in this episode, especially towards the second half. So, I'm going to give this 4 stars. You know, I would have given it 4.5 if the first part wasn't so slow, but I thought it was a very good episode. And of course, I'll have a review for next week for The Walking Dead. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. And guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Red Situations. And don't forget to like my Facebook page, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.